Hello Evergreen drivers and anybody who may view this video on the World Wide Web. My name's Stephen Lusk. I work in the safety and recruiting department here at Evergreen. If you're a current driver, you're very familiar with me. You're very familiar with the work that I do. And this month we're going to be talking about drug and alcohol policies as you know, put forth by the federal government in 49 CFR Part 40 and 49 CFR Part 382. A lot of you guys know that there are some commandments that the FMCSA sets forth. You know, thou shalt not snort cocaine, thou shalt not get drunk and operate a truck. Thankfully for us, our guys are very good at obeying these commandments set forth by the FMCSA. We operate a drug-free workplace. We have some very professional drivers, and thankfully we're very good when it comes to drug and alcohol enforcement and drug and alcohol problem avoidance. However, we have read about some cases of some people elsewhere essentially getting caught on technicalities. And so in this video, we're going to talk about the finer points of the FMCSA's drug and alcohol program, their regulations. We're going to talk about CBD, painkillers, and some more finer points about alcohol stuff. A lot of people, you've probably seen this in stores and truck stops, things like that. CBD. What is CBD? CBD in and of itself is a legal substance that can be sold in stores. It is a derivative of the marijuana plant, okay, but it does not possess enough THC in order for it to be deemed illegal. I believe the cutoff is 0.5%. A CBD product, if it contains more than 0.5% of THC, which is the active ingredient of marijuana that gets somebody stoned, if it contains more than that, it is deemed illegal. However, guys, if you were thinking about experimenting with CBD for muscle relief, for insomnia, we're going to say that's a no-go. And these are the reasons. And the FMCSA says it's a no-go as well. CBD is not a banned substance. It's sold in stores. You've probably seen it. However, the manufacturers of these CBD products, they are not under the regulatory umbrella of the FDA. They do not have to pass FDA requirements. That there is no quality control. So even if you purchase a CBD product that claims to not have THC in it, just be aware that they're not having to answer to anybody. They don't have quality control measures in place. Most likely, a CBD product is going to contain enough THC in it, which is anything above 0, to make you fail a drug or alcohol screen. And so even if you think you're okay taking CBD because it says no THC, it very well, most likely, has THC in it. So that's why Evergreen and FMCSA highly advises that drivers, that people in safety sensitive functions, do not fool with CBD because it can cause you to fail a drug screen. You know, that's one thing to keep in mind. So stay away from CBD. Another thing, painkillers. A lot of people don't realize this, but opioids in any shape or form are banned by FMCSA. Even if you have a prescription for it, even if your hometown doctor prescribes you an opioid for pain, whether it be Oxycontin, hydrocodone, or whatever, if you're taking those and you are in a safety sensitive function, you will fail a DOT drug screen, whether it be pre-employment, whether it be random, or whatever. You will fail because opioids are prohibited for anybody in a safety sensitive function. Of course, you know, if somebody's in pain, we really want them to be comfortable. However, if you receive a prescription for pain, number one, call your safety manager. What your safety manager will do, he will check with in this case Evergreen's DOT testing provider to make sure that what the doctor has prescribed you is not a prohibited substance. Although it's legal, if it contains opioids, it's basically illegal to take while you're operating a CMV. And you will test positive for opioids. And even with a prescription, you will have failed a DOT drug screen for an otherwise legal prescription. Essentially, the long and short of it is, Really, anything that you can take for pain needs to be something that you can purchase over the counter that does not that does not affect your ability to operate a CMV safely. Another thing that we're going to talk about, muscle relaxers. Now, you know, DOT testing requirements, they don't ban muscle relaxers. You can take muscle relaxers. However, you cannot take muscle relaxers while operating a CMV. There was a case some time ago of a driver that had kidney stones, and his doctor put him on muscle relaxers to help him, to help him deal with the pain as the kidney stones work through his system. I believe it was Flexeril. Flexeril is a very widely prescribed muscle relaxer. Under federal guidelines, you cannot take something that inhibits your ability to drive. Therefore, since the muscle relaxers inhibit your ability to drive, you cannot take those while you're operating a CMV. You can take them if you're out for medical leave or something like that. However, when you get back in the truck, you do not need to have the prescription. You do not need to have any of the muscle relaxers on you, and you must be free of the effects of the muscle relaxers. So muscle relaxers are largely okay if you are not operating a CMV. However, if you are operating a CMV, you cannot take them while you drive, and you cannot be under the influence of them when you resume operating in a safety-sensitive function. Another thing that we're going to talk about is alcohol. Obviously, everybody that watches this video knows that you cannot drink alcohol before you take off in a truck. You cannot drink alcohol while you're driving. Obviously, you cannot have alcohol in your truck. A lot of people don't realize this, but a lot of your mouthwashes, a lot of your cough syrups, they contain alcohol. And although it's not an alcoholic beverage, let's say that you're on the yard, on the campus rather, and you wake up and you have a bit of a cough, you have some congestion, and you run to the drugstore and you pick you up some cough syrup that happens to have, some sort of alcohol content, and you take your cough syrup and you start to feel better. And then I come out of the office and I say, hey driver, I need you to go to Macomb. I need you to take a DOT random drug screen, and I also need you to take a DOT breath alcohol screen. If you get to the clinic and you blow and you have, the alcohol from the cough syrup in your system, you can register on a DOT breath alcohol test. And guess what? You just tested positive for alcohol. And unfortunately, in cases like this, Evergreen's hands are tied. Everybody knows what our drug and alcohol policy is. If you test positive on a drug or alcohol screen, there's not really anything that we can do. And so, guys, with your mouthwashes, with your cough syrups, make sure that you purchase something that does not have an alcohol content to it whatsoever. Alcohol-free mouthwash, alcohol-free cough syrup. That's really what you're looking for. We've heard about these cases of people failing drug or alcohol screens on we can call them technicalities if we want to, but there aren't really technicalities in this business. There's the regulations say what they say, and so we really want to make this video to inform our guys so that they can act proactively in regards to their health care, so that they do not put their careers at risk. So in summary, guys, stay away from CBD, stay away from opioids. If you're on muscle relaxers, you cannot use muscle relaxers while you are on the truck. And also with your alcohol stuff, obviously stay away from alcoholic beverages while you're operating a CMV. And also steer clear of things that contain alcohol while you're operating a CMV. We don't want anybody to test positive on something that they didn't really know was wrong. So guys, thank you so much for your time. Stay tuned for a few follow-up questions, and we'll be seeing you guys at the campus here at some point really soon. Thank you.